SWO, Strange World Observer, with your host, John.
Hey, strangelings out there, this is John, and welcome to the Strange World Observer, where it is all about truth. And today's question is, can we talk? You know, Joan Rivers had a comedy routine years ago. She started out as a comic, and she was a very fine comic. And she had this segment where she'd always say, "Can we talk?" And when she would say that, we know that the topics was getting ready to come up. Whether it was politics, it was religion, whether it was, it didn't make a difference. She was going to talk about some hot button issue that was going on, or something very frank. And it was a discussion that she was having with her audience. Now, the question that is begged here is, can we actually have a conversation? In order to have a conversation in the society in which we live, there has to be some semblance of civility that occurs. So we're going to look at the definition of civility, which is my thing to do. We're going to look at Merriam-Webster and the Oxford Dictionary like we do normally. Civility, I'll get that word in a second, out in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary says civilized conduct. Now, last time Oxford decided to use the word to define the word, but thankfully they go on a little bit further. And they say especially courteous or politeness, a polite act or expression. Oxford Dictionary says it's polite behavior. So in order to have a civil discourse, now, what are we talking about in a civil discourse? When two people disagree, there has to be the ability to speak to one another in politeness. There has to be the ability for a conversation to occur. Now, if anybody has ever taken like a communication 101 class, they know that communication has a sender and a receiver, the person who's talking and the person who's listening. And those roles will oscillate throughout a conversation. They will oscillate throughout a conversation, and that's what we're missing today. We have a bunch of people who want to yell at you. We have a bunch of people who want to shut you down. We have a bunch of people who don't want to hear anything because facts are immaterial. It's all about my personal feelings. It's all about the unholy trinity of me, myself, and I. It's all about what has this world done for me, and I don't care what it does for you. So civility is this thing taking a back seat. And I'm going to show you a video here real quick. Okay, so we've had pretty much enough of that. So what we have here is a problem because people were there to pay their respects for RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And Trump was there to pay his respects. Melania was there. So the president and the first lady were there to pay their respects for a person who sat on the Supreme Court. Did Trump agree with RBG? Probably not. I don't know what he did back in the day, but as a president presently, no, he doesn't agree with her findings. I don't either. But she had a very brilliant legal mind. She tended to be a not an originalist when it comes to the Constitution. She was more in the ilk of the left side that finds ways to create laws and whatnot. And that's not the role of the Supreme Court. We can get into that some other day. But Trump was there. There was a crowd of people there that were there to pay the respects for RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And then there were others in the crowd that decided they were there prayerfully to pay the respects for RBG, but they decided to throw away civility, to throw away the honoring of the lady laying in state to do what they did. Now, there's three things. The first thing they booed, it's the President of the United States. We have no respect for the office anymore. I can remember back in around 99 to 2000, I had the opportunity to photograph Al Gore and Joe Lieberman when they came to Nashville. I jumped at the chance. I don't agree with him one bit, but it was a sitting vice president of the United States. It's the office that I respected. And to this day, I don't like the policies of Obama. But if he were to call me up and say, hey, I'd like to have dinner with you and have a conversation, it is a former president of the United States. I would go and have that conversation out of respect for the office he held. It's the idea that you have to respect the office. Now, some will argue one way or the other, and we'll get into another show about the demeaning of the office, whether Trump has done that or not. We can talk about that. But what we do have here is he was from the president of the United States, honoring a Supreme Court justice who died, and the crowd, part of the crowd, would not allow that to happen. They booed him, vote him out, and honor her wish. Honor her wish, that's a whole nother subject that we could talk about that as well. But let's just say it's not even close to being in the Constitution. So civility has pretty much gone out the window. And so let's look at something a little more recent. President Trump tweeted out that he and Melania have tested positive for the COVID virus. Now, the problem with that is what follows. Now, there are a lot of people paying respects, praying for you, hope you recover this. But then you end up with this. You end up with, do you believe, somebody put a poll up. Do you believe Donald Trump and Melania have tested positive for the coronavirus? Because they say that people on the right say it's a hoax. It's not a hoax. No one has ever, well, I shouldn't say no one. A lot of people say that it's a hoax. Very few say a lot of people say it's real. Very few say it's a hoax. But most people actually on the right will probably say that it's really overblown in the reaction. Quarantine is actually for sick people, not healthy people. That's a whole nother subject. We'll get onto that some other time. You have somebody praying, but not for him to get better. Really? Where's the civility in this? That's the question. Where is anyone being civil? We have the leader of our country actually with the coronavirus, and people are praying for his demise. I mean, first of all, I can honestly say that whoever is praying for his demise as a sitting president of the United States is not praying to God. And I would venture not praying to Allah either, or not praying to Buddha, a Hindu, or Shiva, or whoever. Well, maybe Shiva, she's the destroyer of worlds, but they're praying to Satan, if anything. Because this is not the act of a Christian. The third one over here says if he dies, it lets him off the hook. She doesn't want him to die, and it was a she. I covered all their names up. Doesn't want him to die because then they can't see him in prison for all the abuse of his power that he's had. And then another one writes that he hopes he quarantines 6 feet under. Again, I want to say that civility has gone out the window. The problem that we have is that we can't talk anymore. We have to find a way that to reconnect our humanity. I think that's why our civility is missing. And so we need to reconnect our humanity to be able to have a conversation that is meaningful. So I hope that you found something interesting in this show. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like what you saw, please like, share, subscribe. Have a great day. And may the facts be ever on your side.
Thank you for listening to the Strange World Observer podcast. If you like what you heard, hit the like button. Feel free to share the cast with others who are seeking a different voice. The podcast has been produced by yours truly. Music by Polyphonetic on Luberman.com. Again, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.